All right, so I am quitting AI SaaS. Um, I guess in this video I'm just going to be talking about kind of my journey so far, what I've worked on, and kind of what's next for me. And what I'm going to be making content on going forward. It's almost been 4 months since I left my job at Scale. Scale's this unicorn YC startup. I was there for 2 years. And then I took about a month off, kind of just chilled, much needed time off. And then, I kind of dove into a few ideas I had. So the first idea was this program called InternAces. I It was actually because my brother, like getting an internship is hard. He was trying to get an internship. He had no idea where to start, and I realized like a ton of students kind of in his so he's in college. He was a sophomore in college at the time. So students in that kind of age range, they really had no idea, especially in CS, like kind of how to tackle this process. Like I thought I could like spin up a program for these students, so they could get like a really good project under their belt. I quickly realized it's really hard to sell to students. Students don't want to pay. And you either have to reach out to these students' parents, or you have to offer this for free. And so I was thinking I could offer this for free and do sponsorships, but that really wasn't a business model or route like that I was particularly interested in. So that's that. I built this platform. So this is when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do AI SaaS, right? I'm gonna build software because I'm good at building software. I'm gonna build something that people want, and I like building product. So I built this platform called ReviewMyPaper. It does AI peer reviews for researchers. Kind of got this idea when I myself was writing a research paper in grad school, and I couldn't get it published. And I wish I had something that could have given me feedback beforehand. So I did get a lot of visits. I think we got like over like 5,000 people looking at the site. Conversions were pretty low. The fee structure is like one time, so low lifetime value per customer. And the economics, so usually to scale something like this, I would reach out to content creators, pay them a fee or pay some affiliate fee for them to bring someone on. But the economics didn't quite make sense because it was this one-time fee, and this, because you're getting feedback on your research paper like once, right? It's not something you're coming back over and over for. So it's just not being a non-recurring service at a low price point, selling it for like $5 to like $10. It's kind of experimenting with price. It just didn't. The economics just didn't make sense. One thing I wanted to do as part of ReviewMyPaper was fine-tune my own language model to actually deliver these peer reviews, right? But I was having trouble with that. So actually building I found was a great way to figure out kind of what you want to work on next, or, what that next thing for you should be. So that's when I started building StreamTune. It's a platform to fine tune your own language model without code. And I built this through this this program, self-guided program, essentially called BuildSpace. The big problem with StreamTune, I did have people reach out. I posted it on Hacker News. I got some traction. Had people using the website, but the big issue was folks were using it for the wrong reasons, right? Like they actually didn't need fine tuning, and they actually needed RAG. I realized like my messaging was very much for non-developers, but you kind of needed to be a developer. You needed to like understand the space a little more to actually know when to use a product. Essentially I didn't quite nail down who I was building for. it was also an idea that probably needed funding to really take it to that next level, which I'll get into a bit. So kind of the realizations from this was, okay, like people like are interested in AI, but they don't actually know what they want to do within the AI space, or like, which tools actually best fit them, or which tools like are, best work for them. They probably just don't have time like running their own business. And then simultaneously I realized, hey, like I've tried building these products, but it's really hard to build a product, especially building one alone. Mad respect to all the solopreneurs and solo builders out there. But yeah, it's tough. I think marketing is really hard. Marketing and outreach is just something I haven't done. I'm good at building things, but marketing is not my strong suit. And yeah, you have to do that. You have to have tight feedback loops with people that use your product. And yeah, it's a tough process. It's not impossible, but it's tough. Like you can't expect to see. I think the lead time for results is like at least 3 to 6 months. For most products, like you're not gonna find, at least building alone. So yeah, kind of going back to, okay, kind of the dilemma I was facing then was, okay, do I take StreamTune to the next level? Do I pivot it? Or, do I start something new? And kind of really the dilemma I was facing was, okay, do I want funding or do I want to just fully bootstrap myself? And essentially just landed on bootstrapping. And I think there's a ton of reasons. I just didn't want to be accountable to investors and like have to report like quarterly progress to them. I think there are things that, having funding would just be easier. But I think the big thing for me was I don't have a strong desire to build $1 billion business. I don't have a strong desire to build something venture scale, at least at the moment. I have a strong desire to build a business. I have a strong desire to bring value to other people, to other businesses. But yeah, the valuation, particularly being at that scale versus me having more ownership and, essentially I considered that trade-off. So from there, I started looking more internally, right? So I knew like, okay, I wanted to bootstrap, but like, what did I actually want to build? Like, what are my actual goals? Essentially, my goal is to build a business, like, period, right? And then I started looking at what are my strengths. Okay, I can build things. I can code. I'm technical. I can pick things up quickly. Whether that's a space, a tool, a methodology. I can just absorb this information and kind of turn it around and apply that. I know how to be scrappy. I know how to do more with less. I can find shortcuts to achieve the same outcome. I'm good at being empathetic. Putting myself in someone else's shoes, like imagining the outward situation, and I can dive deep given the time. Obviously I wanted to focus on my strengths. There are tons of weaknesses. I don't know how to do sales. I don't know how to do marketing. I haven't made content. I'm trying now, but I mean, these are things I just felt I can pick up, right? Like I gained a much more appreciation for the ability to already be technical, and then build a business. So I'm very grateful for that. So the next thing I considered is, what are my big bets on the future? Where do I see, kind of the world in a few years, right? And obviously the big thing today is AI. I've been knees deep in the AI space. And my big bets are, one, AI will become more powerful and cheaper with time. So it will become better and cheaper with time. I think many people are making this bet. I'm 100% on the same page. Will it take over jobs? Will it just completely automate certain sectors? I think so. I think certain sectors it can. But in that process, it's more likely that AI will be a component of a larger workflow. Number two, small businesses will actually be left behind when it comes to AI adoption. So you have all these AI companies spinning up. Most of them are either focused on empowering developers, or they are VC-backed companies that are actually offering immediate value to other businesses, but they tend to need to work with other VC-backed startups or scale to larger enterprises in order to actually meet their ARR goals, right? Because these VC-backed companies, like they have the pressure to become a billion-dollar business, and you don't do that with medium to low ticket sales. It has to be like very, very high ticket. And yeah, so I think that's where these small businesses are kind of just in the middle, that are kind of just forgotten. Number 3, I believe the skill barrier for no code tools will become lower, and no code tools and AI can actually accomplish a ton of the workflows and deliver outcomes without having specialized hires. So essentially the boom of the generalist, right? A generalist can use these tools. They can learn these tools. We can train a generalist, just someone who's like smart in general, right? And we can deliver astonishing results. So imagine, we create a team of these generalists, and we learn how to use these tools, or we make these tools ourselves, being developers ourselves, and deliver results for other businesses. So from here, I'm trying to avoid some of the mistakes I made in the past 3 months. One, be really clear who I want to build for, right? That's obviously small businesses. What I want to build AI solutions, because that's the new tech. And I want to do it with low and no code tools, because that becomes scalable. So this essentially was like, okay, I am pivoting more into being a service-based business. So really, like, this is starting to shape up to be, okay, I want to build a scalable consulting firm with AI solutions. And that is kind of my thought process to the step so far. So then, okay, I was like, okay, you can't just say you're building AI solutions for everyone. You have to start somewhere. And that's when I was like, okay, what are my interests? I am interested in learning about other businesses. I think that's really interesting to me. And then also real estate and cars and auto dealerships. So those are kind of the sectors I'm starting with. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to learn. And I am excited to dive into this space. And I am hoping to share everything I learn in this process here, as well as, just more details on the day-to-day. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.